My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Well, I tell y'all, I decided this was a good day to come on and tell y'all little things about Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday, both of which are things today is. Good thing I'm wearing a red shirt here. Kind of put it on coincidentally, but since it's Valentine's Day, that's probably good color for it. I'll tell y'all that there's probably not going to be much activity or anything like carving going on in this video because I just have little things to share today about just way things have been. I probably even said sometime recently that I hope to get back to doing some more carving videos, but there's kind of been, I'd say, little issues lately because, like I said, I mean, we still have been kind of short-staffed at work. Things are going fine there. I get kind of hot back in that dish room and have to go in the walk-in cooler to cool down sometimes, but I'd say things are doing well there, and probably in the afternoons I stop by McLeod's Coffee House and probably stop by to visit for probably about half an hour. But there's just so much more I just kind of wanted to say today. Now, the unfortunate thing is that yesterday I didn't make it out anywhere to get a Mardi Gras dinner like I probably would in some places like Ramsey's where they have it on Mardi Gras, but this year I was just kind of feeling a little bit too sick. I mean, if I get anything little like a cold or allergies attacks or anything like that, it kind of makes my acid reflux to where I just kind of have to watch what I eat. And that was one reason I just didn't make it out, but do kind of want to tell you all little things about how it's been. You know, I was telling you all about the waitress in some of my recent videos, the one who, always hugs me like she does. It's a good thing. It's a good feeling. But I tell you one thing I want to mention is that seems like Friday night, she only works there on Fridays and Sundays now. She works at a different place other days, and just so happened I was there Friday night, and you know, I mean, I just let her hug me. I mean, I like it. So she kind of probably has been doing it several times these last few visits. She's just probably getting a little extra sweeter because I just had a birthday, maybe, or probably just she probably been under some stress herself that's probably been doing that to her. But all I want to say is that even when she was doing that on Friday night, she kind of thought by something in my voice that it sounded like I was catching a cold or something. But I was pretty sure for myself that it was just allergies. But she kind of told me that she thought she was coming down with something. She really didn't sound that bad, but I'll tell you, she usually works Sundays too, and I went in there to see her, and she was absent, and there was a certain other new waitress in there that was in there taking her place that day. So I kind of assumed, since I heard her say she was a little sick, she might have gotten too sick to be back to work or something like that. Anything could have happened. I mean, I don't know. See, it's none of my business. I've nothing to say. No guesses, no speculations. But it just kind of comes down to the fact that as a few days passed by, I started to feel a little scratchy in my throat and a little bit congested in my sinuses, itchy, dry septum and everything, and just came down to the point where it just probably came down to the feeling like I was probably coming down with something, and if she was coming down with something like she was suspecting, I probably got it from her. So little do we know reasons for things, reasons why things happen. I'd say that it's just been one of those times where I've been back to taking my vitamin C and drinking some water. I probably even talked like I'd be posting some more content soon, but it might be kind of hard to talk and really post content at the same time if I'm getting sick like I think I am. Like, I'm hoping it's not going to be so bad I'll ever have to call into work and see the doctor. It was that bad the last time when it started out as viral and then turned to a sinus infection, but I'm just kind of looking forward to it being a little bit better this time, not being as bad. I'm just finding some shows online that I'm getting to sign up for and take part in, and even some people who I'm having to comment on the posts of and email and ask questions just to kind of make sure that it's going to be any show I can do with all the items I have. Because, I tell you, I've just got so many more carvings to display this year. So that's just a lot to show and a lot to put out. And kind of got a few new stuffed animals, but probably will say there probably won't be very many of those I'll be putting out as much this year. Kind of just sort of looking out for what I'm able to do, what I can do, see what all I'm able to fit into the space. And lately, I've just been putting new tags on things and filling up my inventory. Even I'd say, like, having taken some new pictures with my new phone, and even on some of my Christmassy items, I've just kind of changed a lot of things. I've just kind of burnt a few more lines into them just to kind of make it so you can have a little bit better ability to tell what they are and what they're supposed to be. It's like these times around, I could be just getting a little different at things because with sickness, that is, because it was a couple mornings ago. I was using some super glue to laminate my slogan tags like I often do, and I'd say a lot of times super glue can have a very strong fume that can cause you to sneeze. Sometimes even with me, sometimes it would kind of get that way so much my nose would run a little bit, and that was kind of, what happened a couple mornings ago when I was working on something. But it was kind of like some little bear cubs I was making. I probably mentioned to you that there were the ones that I was working on out of mahogany, and I finally just put the little tags on them, laminated them, and got them into the oil to soak. So much I'd like to share as far as what all kind of makes a way. One thing I do have on the table right now is these, and I'd say back before Christmas, I made these little Christmas trees and showed the pictures of them where they were just the bare wood out carved out. They weren't painted or anything, and they might look sad or mad or whatever, but that was the best expression I could give them, and probably a little grinchy, but I started just kind of painting on little other things like the eyes balls and the little places where there could kind of be a little green fur around the tree or whatever you call that stuff, and little pink cheeks, and kind of put little lights all around them just to kind of see how that's going to show. And I'd say that there's just a lot of neat art to come around and a lot to show when it comes down to really time to do things. And as for those risen Christ figures, I have finally got a second coat of the finish on them today. One little thing I'd like to mention about the finish, though, is that there was only that little tiny bit of gel varnish left, so I had to buy some. And I had plenty enough mineral spirits to mix with it just to kind of make it what it was supposed to be. And when it all just came down to it, I'd say that little bit that was in the jar, I mean, I was able to open the jar. Sometimes that stuff can get so sticky and hard that it can be hard to open the jar after you kind of put it in there and close it up. But this time around, I was able to kind of get in and, be able to shake it up and open up the jar, and it was hard on top. It had kind of hardened up on the top, and I had to shake the jar, just to see what it would do. And sure enough, some liquid got spread around, but there was still that little hard seal at the top. So I kind of had to break through it with some paper towel and my hand, and had a little bit kind of splash out on something. But I'd say nonetheless that whatever it splashed out on was probably something that wasn't too delicate or too important anyway, and something it could just be easily wiped off of or sanded off of or something like that. So that was all the little issue was. And finally, just like I say, took care of that with my Risen Christ figures, and have been working on more things and more shows, and finally getting to where I'm trying to register for some more, just to try to see where I can see what I can do, probably try to see how much business I can make out in places, because some of them, they might kind of cost me more on gas, where I might not sell much, but it might even get me in a hole. But there's always going to be other sales I can make that will get me out of the same hole with my finances and my expenses and my sales and my bills. But I'd say it's all going to come down to where we're just going to have a good little business coming for us, making things better for us, see what all we're going to have and what we're going to do, and what it's all going to come down to being once we all get the whole thing finished. Now, I'd say that there's probably a little more I'd like to say, but can't stay on too long. Probably might exhaust my voice out. Probably don't need to talk too much, or I might cough too much or get sick. So just need to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.